can't. So, descriptive songwriting versus emotive songwriting. Check out the description if you would like the written version of this. So, I was reading this book by Pat Pattinson. I might put it in the description later, so if you're watching the replay, you can actually check it out. This is a book called Writing Better Lyrics by Pat Pattinson, special name. And I started to read his book, and it started out with some songwriting techniques focused on descriptive writing, such as destination writing, object writing, sense writing. And it kind of made me feel weird because as a songwriter, I never write in a descriptive manner. If you see my eyes not looking at you, I'm looking at my notes to make sure I say everything I want to say. So yeah, it kind of made me feel weird and kind of like a bad songwriter because I didn't do that. I choose not to write in a descriptive manner because it feels forced to me. It's not the easiest way to write. It's not the most efficient way to get your message across. And descriptive writing like this makes me think about one artist in particular. Someone who uses senses to bring their story to life. Someone who writes as if they're writing stories, except it's a song. This artist is Taylor Swift. Now, if you listen to the album Folklore, especially the last great American Dynasty, it starts with an instrumental that is not completely clear. You don't immediately know where it's going until she starts singing. And then if you read the lyrics, they aren't written from her own experience at first. So the lyrics at first are, Rebecca rode up on the afternoon train. It was sunny. Her saltbox house on the coast took her mind off St. Louis. Bill was the heir to the Standard Oil name and the money. And the town said, how did a middle-class divorcee do it? Taylor Swift originally wrote this song because the original owner of the house that she bought, and she found some storylines from the original owner of her house that related to her story, like this destructive person who's really good at ruining things, which, because of the media kind of putting Taylor in a bad lighting, resembled her story. But, so, anyway, the song. She uses words like afternoon train, which is already specific, not just train, but specifically afternoon train, sunny, saltbox house, St. Louis. Each of those words is very descriptive. The goal of such songwriting is to paint a picture and put the listener in it. Just as if you're reading a song, you're getting to know the characters. You, in your mind, in your imagination, you shape the world that you're reading about. And you sort of immerse yourself in that story. And that is the goal of descriptive writing. It's not necessarily relatable, but it's so specific that people can relate to that. Sort of certain smells, certain atmospheres, like it's sunny, an afternoon train. So you're really triggering the imagination of your listening that way. She also, in that song, writes a little bit more old-fashioned because she's referring to that older time period. And that made me feel a bit better looking at Taylor Swift writing in this descriptive way. Because if you think about it, not everyone writes this way. Actually, most people don't. If you listen to Ariana Grande, Avril Lavigne, most singers in pop music, their music isn't too descriptive. The focus in those songs is on the mood of the song, a certain atmosphere, emotion, relatability, authenticity, which is why you can also call the opposite of descriptive writing authentic writing. The goal here is to make people feel what you feel. Not so much through storytelling, not so much through the lyrics, but through efficiency, you could say. The goal is I'm not good at videos like this, but we'll still do it. Especially as a new artist, you can't expect people to want to look into your story. You haven't really delivered on value yet. And people, this might sound rude, but people don't care about you, because who cares if you have a really complex song? If people hear your song for the first time, they will not care enough to go and look up your lyrics and the secret meaning behind it. It works for Taylor because it's Taylor Swift. Not all her initial songs were that descriptive too. But with most pop music, you grab the listener's attention with a combination of production, lyrics that are interesting but not too complex, emotion, atmosphere, and the melody of your song. You get your message across through atmosphere, through the complete package of your song, rather than focusing on lyrics for the most part. Your lyrics can be interesting, there can be metaphors behind it, and there can be some complexity, but the initial lyrics are clear. They can spark enough interest for the listener to want to figure out why you wrote it, but looking up the lyrics isn't required to understand the song. For example, an example of authentic writing or emotive writing, or whatever you want to call that, is Ariana Grande's Breathing, which is relatable because I can breathe right now very well. I have chronic hyperventilation, boo-hoo-hoo. Moving on. So if you hear me breathe weirdly, that's why. So Ariana Grande's Breathing. She starts out with the lyrics, "Some days things just take way too much of my energy. I look up and the whole room's spinning. You take my cares away. I can so overcomplicate. People tell me to medicate." You don't have to ask too many questions to know what the song is about to understand it. You understand immediately the main character is a singer, in this case Ariana. She wrote the song because she sounds tired and scared. The lyrics aren't complex. The reason why she wrote the song is because she suffered from anxiety, which many people experience, which makes it relatable. But now, if we read the lyrics of Taylor Swift again, Rebecca rode up on the afternoon train. It was sunny. Her saltbox house on the coast took her mind off St. Louis. Bill was the heir to the Standard Oil name and the money, and the town said, "How did a middle-class divorcee do it?" It's interesting for sure, but also because it's Taylor Swift, and because it's her, you want to look up what the meaning is, because she's already an established songwriter, and people want to know why she wrote what she wrote. But if you hear those lyrics for the first time, you will think, what the hell is she singing, first of all? And then if you read the lyrics, you will be like, who's Rebecca? Why did Taylor write it? What is a saltbox house? Who's Bill? What is Standard Oil? To be honest, I don't know if emotive is the correct word, which I said earlier. You could also say authentic writing. But this is just to make the difference clear between descriptive writing and emotive writing or authentic writing, or whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you will call it, actually. So if you don't write one way or the other way, don't feel bad. It's okay. I know that I'm more of an authentic writer, and don't get me wrong, Authentic writing doesn't necessarily mean experience-based writing, which is kind of weird, which is why I called it emotive writing early on. Descriptive writing to me more means that you, for the most part, use your senses to write. You refer to what you see specifically. It was sunny. It was an afternoon train. Saltbox house. You can refer to certain smells, like if you're describing roses, or I don't know, whatever. Like a certain perfume that person was wearing. So you use your senses to describe, to make the viewer see, hear, smell what you see, hear, smell. If you do emotive writing, however, what was I gonna say now? I'm messing up big time. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's not necessarily experience-based writing. It just means that you're not as descriptive. Your lyrics might be a bit simpler. You get your emotion across with not too many words. It's efficient. You could also maybe call it efficient writing. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. You're not late on my life. It's okay. Welcome. So yeah, it's not necessarily experience-based writing. For example, I wrote Shattered, which is about a couple that hate each other so much they want to kill each other. Does that mean I've been in a relationship with someone I wanted to kill or wanted to kill me? No. But it's a heavy breakup song, which is relatable. But it's not insanely descriptive. However, yeah, maybe that song is, because I talk about pushing toothpicks in someone's body. But it's not like... I say these lyrics as if it's normal. It's not. But it's not like I'm writing about, for example, a Saltbox house. And you have to be like, oh, what does that even mean? And you look it up and you see it's like an old way of building houses. That's not. It's not. Looking up the lyrics isn't a requirement for understanding this song. With descriptive writing, it is. So, Mr. Bunny Lamakins. I'm gonna have a look in the chat now. I'm done talking about descriptive writing as such. How are you, Mr. Bunny Lamakins? That's a special username. Good day to you, sir. Cake says, oof, I'm late. You're not late. I just started. I love the Simon and Garfunkel. Huh? I do not know what you are talking about. Hi, Josephine. I'm come why live stream off always. Oh, way late probably you mean. Hi, Jade. How are you? I know. Josephine, I always come late to your live. See you later next time. Hehe. Yeet. Friends watching replay later. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, does any of you have questions about descriptive or emotive or relatable or authentic songwriting? I think relatable songwriting is a better way to explain it. The fan of my Mac is blowing and I hope it won't kill it. So yeah, these are interesting books by Pat Patterson. This is one that I have, which I will continue to read one day. Because there's one that I also have. Just a second. Which actually seems a lot more interesting to me. One of my viewers actually suggested to read this. And this one, if I look inside, it looks really, really interesting because it talks about different ways of rhyming. It talks about, what do you call it? What's the word? Association, metaphors, stuff like that, which I think is going to be really interesting. Also, there's a lot of spacing between the words, which is what I like, because I'm late. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so these are two books. If you're a songwriter, you can read these if you want. I can put them in the description once I'm done with this live stream. I won't keep going too long on this live stream. I just wanted to explain these two types of songwriting to you. Many popular songs, Looking Glass, Brandy, Descriptive, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, John Mellencamp, Jake and Diane. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about descriptive songs that I just don't really like it. However, it really depends on the artist. I have to really, really like the artist to want to look up their lyrics. For example, I don't really have that with Taylor Swift, though I like some songs of her, but I guess I mostly like the songs that aren't descriptive. Like, I like Blank Space, I like, what is the one with I can't come up with the name now. Look What You Made Me Do, I also like that one. See, those aren't that descriptive, but most songs in folklore are. I do really like Exile. That is so beautiful. It's beautifully written and performed. Damn, those voices together, they mix so well. Anyway, yeah, it really depends on the artist. Because, for example, Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap, I did want to look that up, and that is super interesting to read. And thank God Genius exists to help us understand songs like that. Yeah. You know, there's a meaning and a story behind every song. My songs have like some complexity to them, some story behind the song, but you're not gonna listen and go, I don't understand it at all. I hope. Maybe you do. Maybe it's poorly written. That's also possible. Anyway, how are you guys? I just want to hang out with you now a little bit, and then I will just cut off the part later and upload that as a separate video. Just the part where I talk about descriptive and emotive writing. And this part will be cut off. So let me know what you guys think of this subject. Is this something that interests you, or are you like, I'm not a songwriter, I don't care? Possible. You know, I think a year ago or something, I used to get writer's block. And I was so annoyed by that. And I kind of was able to stop having writer's block by recording ideas on the go. But then I stumbled upon this hurdle of not understanding my own writing process. People ask me like, how do I write a song? And I'm like, I don't know. It just flows out, is what I used to say. And I was so tired of saying that. I wanted to understand how I wrote songs. So the way to do that is to analyze music that you like, listen to music that you don't usually listen to, and analyze it. Really, on every aspect of the song, ask yourself, what do I like about it? What do I like about the melody? What do I not like about it? The lyrics, is there something I do or don't like about that? The instrumentals, the chord progression, the general atmosphere of the song, the rhythm of speech, the hook, repetition in the song, metaphors, meaning. What aspects of the song do I or do I not like? Is it influenced by the way I look at the artist? For example, there are songs by artists that I like that I usually wouldn't like, but I like them because it's by that artist, you know? I use a lot of analogies. Rap uses analogies. I have to look up what analogies are, but I think you mean like metaphors. Analogies, vertaling. Translating to Dutch. Analogie, thank you. Yeah, so similar meaning. Okay. Metaphors. Yeah, me too. Like it a lot. I've been wanting to read this book mainly for a while. I keep putting it on my to-do list, but there is stuff that keeps coming in the way. But yeah. This actually seems to be a really interesting book. And it's practical as well. It has a lot of exercises in it, which I like. It's not, because songwriting isn't theory. You have to be able to put it in practice.